Hi people, how are you all doing? Welcome to my channel. This is Victorious Mirabel. Here we talk about my faith in God, lifestyle, fashion, finances, all that pertains to life and godliness. Just helping all of us be all that which God has created us to be. Yes. How are you all doing? I hope you all are doing great, staying blessed, basking in the grace and mercy of God. Yep. So I know I have been promising a lot to do this video and I have a lot of requests for this video. So today I'm going to be doing the budgeting video. Let the drum roll. Yep. So I'm going to be showing you guys how I budget. So this Friday, yesterday, today is Saturday the 15th, Friday the 14th was my first paycheck for the year. You guys saw that when I spread out my expenses on my calendar, when I showed you guys, I think 2 videos ago. If you haven't seen the video, go down and watch, or I'm going to link the video in the description. So today, after I've spread out my expenses, my bills, I go ahead to budget, to really plan, give a tag to my money so that I stay on track. You guys know I'm big on planning, on budgeting. Is that's one of the biggest thing for you to attain your financial goal or the financial freedom in which you want. Yes. So without much talking, let's get into this video. Let me show you guys how I do my budget. I've already drafted it, but I'm gonna explain it to you so that you can also do same. So let's go. So this is what my work and study table looks like. This is the calendar. I know this is a different calendar. I got a new calendar. If you watched my last video, I was struggling to write on the other calendar. So these are my bills imputed on this calendar. And I use bow markers. These are the pay days. Like, it just helped me plan a lot. If you haven't seen the video where I did this, please go back and watch. As I said, I'm going to link the video on the description box of this video. So let's go ahead, and this is my budget. Like you can all see budget for the month of January 2022. So this is my budget for this month. Yep. So let me explain what I have done here so that you guys can understand. So this is how I go about my budget. I write a title. I have a book for my budget. Like, I literally buy a book every year. I write the title, I write the date, the items, the amount in dollar, the amount in dollar. So this is January 14, 2022. Like I said, this is the day I got my first paycheck. First thing to know when you're budgeting, budget on a fixed income. If you have like a salary and a business, and the salary is what you use to run your household, and the money from your business, you plow it back into your business or you save it, that's not money to be spent. You budget on the money that you have to spend. So I had to know, because I had an increase in my salary this year, I had to know how much was in my paycheck for me to be able to budget. So on this day, I received my paycheck. So it gave me a fixed amount. I knew the amount in which I was working, or the amount in which I'm working on. So that's why I have my budget on this date. So this is it. The first thing I write on the 14th, the first thing I write is paycheck. This is what came in on my paycheck. So after I've written my paycheck, I go ahead to write my expenditure. The first thing, I move my tithe. Please, this is for Christian. If you're not a Christian, don't be judgmental. You are here to share knowledge, not to judge. I remove my tithe. I remove my offering or alms. I remove my offering and alms. Then the next thing, salary to self, 15%. You guys, if you have followed me, you know I talk about pay yourself. Pay yourself first. Yes, so I remove salary, and it all depends on you. It all depends on your financial goal. That's why I said, to achieve a financial goal, you have to have a target. So if your target is a certain amount, then that amount will help you determine how much of your paycheck you're going to save. So I save 15% of my paycheck. And then the next thing I want to say is, be realistic when setting your saving goals. Be very, very realistic. Don't do things that will become heavy on you, that will make you fall short of your bills. So be very realistic when you do this. If it's 10%, good and fine. If it is 5%, good and fine. If it is 20%, good and fine. If it is 40%, good and fine. Whatever works for you, but be realistic. So mine is 15%. So this is the amount, 15% of this amount. So this is 10% of this amount. Offering. This is my offering for the month. Salary to self. Pay yourself first. This is 15% of this amount. So this is it. So I calm down. The next thing I have under my expenditure, I have fixed expenditure. What are fixed expenditure? Fixed expenditures are things that I need to run my life. I cannot do without. I cannot negotiate the amount. I cannot alter them. They are fixed because they cannot be moved. They cannot be shifted. Something like rent. If your rent is 1,000, 1,200, you cannot say, okay, no, this month I'm going to pay 1,000, or this month I'm going to pay 1,050. The next month I'll pay 1,100. The amounts are fixed. You cannot maneuver around it. So that's the first thing I put. And they are priorities. These ones. That's why they are fixed expenditure. So I have my rent. I remove my rent. I have house insurance, I remove it. I have hydro, internet, phone bill, car payment, car insurance. One thing I'll mention with car payment, if you buy your car cash, which I advise, maybe I'm going to do another video on that. If you're an immigrant, you buy your car cash. One thing that you want to do is amortize the amount within a period of the lifespan of the car. So if you buy a car cash, it's a second-handed car, and they tell you that car can sustain you for like 5 years or 3 years, amortize the amount you bought the car for, and then save that amount every month, so that by the time that car breaks down after 5 years, or the lifespan of that car finishes, or something happens to the car where it's beyond repair, you have some money saved to at least buy your next car, or at least pay some amount of money if you're going to go on car lease. So at least you have some down payment for your car. So that's what I did here. So I amortized the full amount of my car. So I save this amount every month for my next car, whenever that is going to be. So this is it. After I've put my rent, every household bill, I go to transportation. I put car payment, car insurance, gas. How much gas will you use for that month? One other thing I also advise when it comes to gas, it has been proven, I have tried it, that you use less gas when you fill your tank each time you go to fill gas in your car. So always make it a priority that each time you go to put gas in your car, put a full tank. It's going to save you more than putting $10, $1, $5, $20 gas in your car. You are going to spend more at the long run if you do that. Car maintenance. Yes, if you're using a second-handed car, please save some money for maintenance, because anything can happen. You don't want to fall short. You don't want to dip your hand in your savings and remove money. So save some money for maintenance if you're using a second-handed car. That's very important. The next thing I want to talk about is allowance. So what allowance? If you sponsor your younger ones, you send money to your parents, whatever it is, it's your responsibility. So it's a fixed expenditure for you. If you have like your younger one's school fees, you cannot negotiate your school fees. School fees is school fees. So I put it under fixed parents allowance. If you're supposed to give your parents money every day for your medicals, your feeding, so I put it under fixed. So this is the amount. Then I have retirement, RSP. Please, let's save for our retirement. I don't want to see any of my family members on YT, 70 years, 80 years, you're still working. Please save for your retirement. It's very important. So I do RSP. There are many other retirement plans that you can save for, but I do RSP. Ask your bank, do your research, the country in which you are, how you can save for your retirement. It's very, very important. So that if something happens to you tomorrow, they're not doing GoFundMe on Facebook, YouTube on your behalf. Please don't disgrace your family. Be responsible. The next thing we're going to look at is variable expenditure. What are variable expenditure? Variable expenditure are expenditure that you can alter, you can shift, you can reduce the amount, you can cut back, you can decide not to spend on that area in that month. There are things that they are under your control. So the first thing on my variable expenditure is food. And I allocated $500 for food. Food is very important. Under food, I had to break it down. That's how detailed I like my budgets to be. I had to break it down. I had grocery, $300. So this one too, it depends on the size of your family. This one, it depends on the size of your family. So for me, this is what works for me. I am budgeting $300 for grocery. Take out. You remember one of those evenings where you're so tired, you don't want to cook, you want to take out. I budget. Why do I budget for takeout? So that if I've exceeded my budget for takeout, mentally I am ready. I know that I don't have money for takeout. I'll wake up and make something for myself, for my family. That's why I put money for takeout. If you don't allocate money for takeout, By if you're not intentional and allocate money for takeout, you realize that sometime at the end of the month you are spending $300 $500 for takeout. So let's be intentional. It's all about intentionality. Dining out, I place $100 for dining out. This is like, okay, maybe your friends invite you, or you invite your friends out, or you take yourself out, but then there is an amount allocated for this. If I use this amount and you are my sister or a friend and you invite me out, be sure that I will say no. I might give you any flimsy excuse, but the main reason is because I have exhausted my takeout budget for that month. But if you invite me and I still have some coins here, girl, I'm gonna dress up, show up, turn up. Okay? So we're gonna go now self-care. Self-care, I allocated $200. This has to do with things like hair, your nails, whatever it is. So $100 for hair. Personal hygiene, $100. So again, here on self-care, it's not every month you do your hair. Some months you might want to do your hair by yourself and allocate that money for something else, but just make sure to take care of yourself. But be realistic. Don't take care of yourself from your head to your toe in 1 month. At least say this month I'm doing my hair. Next month I'm buying a dress for myself. Like alternate. And just make sure that you're taking care of yourself in one way or another. Or this month, I'm going for, instead of doing my hair, I'm going to twist out my hair or do a wash and go, or wear a wig and I go for a massage. Whatever works for you. So that's it for self-care. There's an amount allocated, and that amount goes, $100 goes for hair. The other $100 under this $200 self-care go for personal hygiene. Yep. Then if I add all these amounts, if I put all my expenditures together, both the fixed and the variable, this is the amount it gives me, this one. But you realize this amount is way less than this amount. You get? So if I deduct this amount from this amount, the balance is $17.8. And I put that under miscellaneous expenditure. Miscellaneous is in the case of any occurrence, something happens, or I see somebody, I have to give a child like $10, at least they say miscellaneous. But the whole aim is not just leaving the money there, giving it a meaning or putting a tag to it or allocating it to something. If I add this now together, it's going to give me this, which is the same amount as my income, which is this amount. At the end of the day, I have zero balance. So this kind of budget is known as zero balance budget, which means to every dime of your paycheck or of that money, there is something allocated. This is just to keep you on track, so that if something happens, if a sister calls you or somebody calls you from back home, oh, I'm having a birthday party, you might have money in your account, but your conscience, your mind, it's easy for you to say no, even to your own self, because you know that your money is assigned for something. The money in your account is not just spare money. There is an assignment assigned for that money. So this is how I draw my budget. So one other thing, if you add all your expenditure and this amount, the total of your expenditure is more than your income, then the first place to cut back is looking at this variable expenditure. Can I reduce the money for my grocery? Can I not do a takeout this month? Can I just stay home this month without going out with friends? Can I this month do my hair by myself? After looking at this, and it's still more, the next place to look at is this pay yourself back, the savings. Instead of 15%, can I do 10%? And then meet up with my need with the 5%. But be realistic at the end of the day. So that's one thing to mention, because sometimes we budget and then our budget or our expenditure is far above our income. This is the first place to start looking at. Look at your variable expenditures, because this is under your control. The fixed ones, you don't have control over them because they are fixed bills with your landlord, with your internet company, your phone company. You don't really have control over these ones. But you can start from here to see where you can cut back, and also here, the pay yourself first, how you can cut back. Hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section. If you have any other contribution, leave it in the comment section. If you want me, this is a full month budget. If you want me to do a paycheck to paycheck, if you are in North America or in a country where they pay you after every week, like bi-weekly, and you want to do, instead of a monthly budget, you want to paycheck to paycheck, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to do it for you. So this is what my budget looks like. This is it. I hope it was explicit. Yep, love you all with the love of God, and I pray that God help us in this financial journey, that we will not be slave to money, but our money will work for us. And have a great day, people. God bless you. Remember, God loves you. You are loved by God unconditionally. See you in my next video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you all.